to our channel, that is AI next generation. So in the previous video we already have been look about the inheritance in the OOPS, multiple inheritance, class, object, self, constructor, that is the init method, and also we have gone through the encapsulation in the OOPS. So I hope you are clear with this all the topic. So now we are just moving to the another topic in the OOPS, that is the polymorphism. So what do you mean by polymorphism? So I will explain this thing in more detail. So whenever I am just splitting this particular polymorphism into two parts, the poly, you can just say poly means many and morphism means form, means particular things you have many form, that particular function you have many form. I can just give with this example so it will like clear to you. Suppose this is a length is a pre-built inbuilt function that is of the Python. So whenever you are just passing any parameter inside that length, that is a, first of all I'm just passing the string, so it will give the length of that particular string, that is a Python. Again in the length len method, that is a function, I am just passing it, that is a list 1 comma 2 comma 4. So it will just give me the length of this particular list. Again I am just passing this, that is a tuple. Clear? Again it will give me the length of the tuple. So what does it mean? So you have the Python, that is a string, that is a list, that is a tuple. So different data type you have for this particular, means length. For the length you can use for as many as form. You can pass the parameter as a string, you can pass the parameter as a list, you can pass as a parameter as a tuple. So length is basically, it can be used in the many form. So this is the best example of polymorphism. But now we are moving to the particular OOPS concept, that is a class we are just making. Suppose one class I am just making, that is India, and I am just writing particular, which the first thing I am just writing, what is the capital of India. Okay, what is the capital of India, and then after that I'm just printing that capital is a New Delhi. Clear? Can just write New Delhi. Clear? And again you are just writing one more method, that is a particular which method, that is which language it is speaking in the India. You are just writing self, and then again you are just writing here print. You are just writing which language. Hindi is the most speaking language in the India. And then after you are just creating one more class, that is a Bangladesh. You are just creating Bangladesh, I can just write, and you are just making another one more method of the Bangladesh, that is a capital. Okay, and you are just writing in the capital, what's the capital of Bangladesh, that is a Dhaka. I can just write. And again you are just creating one more method, that is which language it is speaking. They are speaking as a Bengali language, so you can just write Bengali. Okay, so what does you mean? So in the that is the class, you are just making the class as a India, but you are just passing the same method what you are using in the Bangladesh. That is the capital you are just passing also in India also. You are just passing that capital in Bangladesh also. But that is the block inside the logic, that is a block inside the method, that is a different. Because for this capital, for India, in India class, the capital method will print you the New Delhi, and for the Bangladesh class, the capital method will print the Dhaka. So you have the same method name, you have the same capital method, you have same language method inside the Bangladesh also, inside the India. So first, what do you mean by this? So why you are going to write the number of lines of code? Because here I am just giving the example as a 2, but it can have 9 to 10 method that is same in the both the class. Their method name is the same, but the implementation inside the logic, that is the different. So why you are calling two things at a time? It means 2 times you are just writing the code. You can just write this all thing at a one time. So I can just give the example. So if you are just making the object of India, clear, you are just making the, and you are just creating the object of this Bangladesh. Clear? So you are just writing Bangladesh something. So now you are just make the object of India. But if you want to call the capital method from the India, you are just writing India.capital. Clear? And you are just calling this method. So that will print the New Delhi. And similar, you can just writing the capital of Bangladesh. And again you are just writing the same thing, that is a capital. Clear? So what does it mean? This you are just calling 2 time capital, means you don't have to write this again for India. I'm just writing the India and Bangladesh for here. But again, if you are just creating one more particular, you can just write a class. You can write a USA. Okay, the best example USA, and you're just writing the same capital for the USA, and you're just passing what's the capital of USA. You can just write what's the capital of USA. You can just write Washington DC. Okay, and what the language is speaking in this particular USA, that's the mostly the English. You just write here print English. Clear? So here you have just created the three class. Clear? So you are just again making the object of this particular USA. You are just writing object of USA. Okay, now again you want to call the capital from the USA. You are just writing capital. You are just calling the same method capital, but it is increasing the number of line of the code for the same capital method. You are just writing three times. You are just calling from the India. You are just calling from the Bangladesh. You are just calling from the USA. Again, if you are going for the language, again the three things you will write again for the. So this how it will increase the number of line of the code. So to reduce the number of line of code, you can create one function for easily. You can just create one function. What you can just write here, you can just create one function. You can just that is the object, it will just print. You can just write here object. I can just give any method, that object PR. I can just write anything, and you're just passing the here what parameter it will pass. It will pass the three parameters, that is India, Bangladesh and USA. It can pass India, here I can just pass ABC. Okay, I'm just passing ABC, and now you are just what you have to call, you have to just, you already have the whenever you will call this particular method, automatic what it will be invoked. So you don't have to write again the number of line of the code. So a dot, from a dot you want the capital. Okay, a dot capital, you can just write the a dot capital, similar print b dot capital, and again you want to call c, print c dot capital. Okay, c dot capital. This all are the method, and you have to call this one. Clear? You have to call here also. Now you are just getting one particular object for that. Okay, and now why it's giving me error, duplicate C. Okay, duplicate C. Let's see what is duplicate C. You have to write here B. And now if I'm just calling this method here, I'm just writing object PR, and inside that I'm just writing first of all India, that is the object, then Bangladesh object, and then I'm just passing USA object. Okay, so now it's clear. Now whenever you're just passing, you are just getting output, that is a New Delhi, Dhaka and Washington DC. Clear? So what do you mean by this? You do basically you are using the ABC, that is a parameter. You don't have to write the number of line of code again and again and again. Okay, once you are using this particular function, that is the object PR, that you will use outside of the class, you are just creating, so that you don't have to write again the code. So once you are just writing, you can just call as many of things logic you can just write here. So the thing is that whenever it's like you are just writing three object, you are just taking, if there is n number of object, you don't know how many object it is there, then you can just go for the args. You are just writing args. You already have just gone through about the args, keywords arguments. That is okay, that is keywords argument saying that is a label based argument. So you don't know how many argument you have to pass for that. So clearly you can just do this thing. What you have to just write, for I in args, you have to write args. Now in args basically store everything in the tuples form. Okay, if you want for India only, then you can pass India. If you want India and Bangladesh, you don't want USA, just pass India and Bangladesh. And if you want the India, Bangladesh and USA, all the three things, you can go for that also. Clear? So now if you're just passing this thing, now from that what you want to print, I dot capital. I'm just printing this one. So now you can just remove this one. Don't have to write print again. So already it is printing this one. Now what I will say here, whenever you are just creating this particular, that is a method, now you are just calling this, you are just passing only India and Bangladesh. So what will be the answer? It is printing New Delhi and Dhaka. Again, if you are passing only India, so it will give you only India, that is India capital. Again you are passing India, Bangladesh and also USA, so it will print for the all the three. So you can do in this way. It's really number of lines of code is really decreases. So you can go for the args. Again, this is basically for the capital. Again, you can create one more method for language. Okay, so you can just do all this thing in the similar way. So basically you are just reducing the number of line of code. Okay, so that particular, because this capital also this capital method of the USA class, the capital method of Bangladesh class and the capital method of India class, they have the same main, but their implementation is different, means their logic is different. Okay, so don't have to write again and again line of the code. So similar way I have just given the example of the length. So whenever length is a basically a polymorphism, so inside that you are just passing different type of parameter. You are passing string, you are passing list, you are passing tuple. You can pass any number of parameter, any type of parameter, but it will only return the length of that. Okay, this was about the polymorphism, how you are using this thing in the oops. I hope you are clear with that. So that's all for this video. Thank you.